A month before my 20th birthday, my father took out the information of the eldest legitimate sons from the four major families in City B and asked me to choose one for an arranged marriage. Without a second thought, I chose Isaac Hayden. Everyone at the table was shocked. In the vast City B, who didn't know that Madeline Jonas, the only daughter of the Jonas family, had been an extreme admirer of Eden Dennis since childhood. Only I knew that in my previous life, I had married him as I wished. However, on the second day of our grand wedding, he told me that the innocent girl my father had sponsored was the one he truly loved. He publicly announced that from then on, we would only have the name of husband and wife, while he and that girl would have the real relationship of husband and wife. Unexpectedly, when he went to pick up the innocent girl the next day, she left a farewell letter and disappeared. He was firmly convinced that I had forced her away and regarded me as his lifelong enemy. He changed his lover every week and openly brought them in front of me to be affectionate. Every woman had the shadow of that innocent girl. Finally, on the day he officially took over the Jonas family, I died a tragic death in a so-called accidental car accident. After being reborn in this life, I decided to marry someone else and have nothing to do with him anymore. But when he heard my decision, the crown prince of the Dennis family actually went crazy. Hey, why is Madeline here too? You're something, Mr. Eden. She's chased you all the way to London. She chased you even though it's so far away. The admirer has turned into a shameless stalker. The greasy and harsh teasing rushed into my ears, and I turned around indifferently. Eden's face darkened slightly, and he frowned and asked me, "What are you doing here? It's bad enough that you followed me shamelessly in City B, and now you've chased me all the way to London." He put on a stern face and lectured me. "You're the only daughter of the Jonas family. Don't you even know what modesty is?" This expression and tone that seemed righteous but actually showed disgust. I had seen it for more than 10 years in my previous life and was all too familiar with it. I would try to hold myself together in front of others, but when I got home, I would cry helplessly. I kept reflecting on what was wrong with me that made him not like me. But now I just indifferently dropped a sentence. "My dad asked me to come here to auction a piece of jewelry as a 20th birthday gift. What does it have to do with you?" Eden didn't expect me to have this attitude and was stunned for a moment. Before he could react, his friends around him were in an uproar. According to the will of the grandfather of the Jonas family, Madeline will choose one of the eldest legitimate sons of the four major families for an arranged marriage when she turns 20. That person will take over the Jonas family comprehensively in the future. The ancestors of the four major families all made their fortunes relying on the Jonas family. What's the difference between this and an imperial decree for marriage? Eden's eyes flickered, and he subtly glanced at me out of the corner of his eye. The Jonas family has a business empire. Taking over both the Jonas family and the Dennis family at the same time means dominating City B. Mr. Eden, if you become wealthy, don't forget your brothers. You have to give us a hand. Congratulations, Mr. Eden. Best wishes, Mr. Eden. The group of people congratulated him one after another, and I just looked at Eden coldly. There wasn't much change in his expression, but with my familiarity with him over 2 lifetimes, I still caught the fleeting joy in his eyes. "All right, everything will be arranged according to Mr. Jonas's wishes." Eden's expression softened a bit, and he said to me in a condescending manner, "Since you're here, you can stay, but stay away from me. I'm here for work." Suddenly, he leaned closer to me and whispered, "I must bring Xiaorong home on our wedding day. If you dare not agree, I'll reject the marriage, and you'll never have me." My heart shrank suddenly. So, he was reborn too, Brother Eden. The soft and pleasant voice interrupted my thoughts, and the cold expression on Eden's face instantly turned tender. "You're not feeling well due to jet lag. Why don't you rest a little longer? I heard that Madeline is here too. I had to come and say hello." Nicole smiled at me with a pale face. "Hi, Madeline. Don't get me wrong. I'm Mr. Eden's assistant this time. Why are you explaining to her?" Eden pulled her behind him and looked at me coldly. "I don't have anything with her yet. Your health is the most important thing. Everything else can wait." He kept scolding me for not being modest. But when it came to Nicole, everything else can wait. At the auction, Eden spent a large sum of money to bid for 3 pieces of jewelry, making Nicole giggle in surprise. But I didn't see anything I liked until the end. Just as I was about to leave, the auctioneer smiled mysteriously and showed an antique ring. Those who knew about it could tell at a glance that it was priceless. For the first time, I sat up straight. But before he could introduce it, Eden held up the bidding paddle. 100 million. Mr. Eden. I'm sorry. Pounds. I looked over. Eden glanced at me coldly, and Nicole was screaming and kissing him. Sorry, Mr. Eden. The auctioneer smiled and looked at me. This is for Miss Madeline, but we made the bid first. Nicole was indignant. This was prepared by Mr. Jonas. It's not for sale. He said that Miss Madeline has high standards. If she didn't like the previous items, this one should barely meet her requirements. The staff respectfully presented the ring to me and bowed, saying, I wish Miss Madeline a happy birthday in advance. Nicole's face turned even paler. Eden put his arm around her slender waist, and a storm brewed in his eyes. Madeline, if you bully Nicole like this again, I will definitely reject the marriage. This threat was very powerful in my previous life, but now it means nothing to me. A few days after returning to City B from London, I was invited to attend the birthday party of my father's business partner on his behalf. When I went to get some food after giving the gift, I saw that Eden was making traditional Chinese medicine for Nicole. He was saying something, and there was a hint of doting in his serious expression. Nicole leaned against him sweetly. When the people around saw me coming, they all excitedly showed expressions of watching the drama. Eden also saw me, but he pretended not to. Seeing Nicole looking bitter after taking the medicine, he bit a Sun Muscat grape and brought it close to her. Nicole shyly took it in her mouth, and her eyes were already filled with tenderness. Eden stood up straight and seemingly casually glanced at me. Everyone looked at me. I sneered inwardly. Did he think I was still the Madeline who would get angry at the slightest provocation and was afraid that crying would make him unhappy? I just lowered my head to eat, not taking them seriously at all. Eden was stunned for a moment. Then his eyes narrowed slightly. You finally understand that being modest and generous can please me. That's good. He took out a small box from his arms and opened it, asking Nicole, is it pretty? Ah, that's the diamond ring that the Dennis family prepared in advance to give to Madeline on her birthday. This diamond is so beautiful. Nicole's eyes lit up and then dimmed. She forced a smile and said, Brother Eden is so good to Madeline. If you like it, I'll give it to you. Without caring about the astonishment of others, Eden put the diamond ring on Nicole's ring finger. Nicole pretended to be in a dilemma. Is this okay? After all, it's from the Dennis family for Madeline. It's just a ring. If she wants one, I'll buy another one for her. Eden's eyes swept over me coldly, and he called the waiter. Go, order a ring from Meituan and have it delivered here. Hurry up, or Princess Hua will be unhappy. There were snickering sounds around. I chewed the food numbly, with no emotion in my eyes. This was the person I had once chased after desperately, offering my sincere heart and begging for his love. But he treated me like trash. Once, when I said I missed him, he gave me an address. But when I rushed there excitedly, I only saw a group of people cheering. We won the bet. When I called him crying, he just casually said, I just said a place casually. I didn't say I was there. He was always like this, trampling on my love and self-esteem mercilessly all the time. I was really tired. The waiter looked at me at a loss. I just waved my hand. It's okay. Go and do your work. Seeing that I was so calm, Eden frowned deeply. He used his old trick again, whispering and being extremely intimate with Nicole. There were continuous jeers around them. After Eden passed the champagne in his mouth to Nicole for the third time and then looked at me provocatively. Finally, he saw me push the chair and walk out. He pushed Nicole away and chased after me for a few steps, pulling me and sneering. Can't stand it anymore. I won't have such a petty person as my wife. I waved his hand away and retorted, Eden, where do you get the confidence that I will definitely choose you? Eden looked like he had heard the most ridiculous joke. Otherwise, the Ferdinand family has just suffered a devastating investment failure, and the one from the Ingomar family is a sickly person. As for the Hayden family, the corners of his mouth curled up in a mean arc. They're just filling in the numbers. There's no need to mention them. Madeline, you have no other choice but me. Everything will be revealed on my birthday. I'm too lazy to provide them with after-dinner entertainment anymore. Just as I was about to get in the car and go home, Nicole ran out. Madeline, since my father and Eden weren't around, she didn't bother to pretend anymore. Don't think that just because you're married to him, you've got him. The title is the least important. The one who can sleep beside him is the real Mrs. Gu. She spoke bluntly. I just stroked the antique ring and smiled faintly. But precisely, isn't this least important title exactly what you want the most? Nicole's smile froze, and she was so angry that she could barely stand. She knew what I was. My father had sponsored her since primary school. and after she graduated, he even let her work in the Jonas family. We thought we were opening the door to a better life for her, but it turned out to be Pandora's box. In my previous life, why she disappeared had always been a mystery. This time, I decided to stay out of it and see the ending of this lovebird couple. My father said that once the arranged marriage was officially announced, the engagement banquet would be held soon, and he asked me to start preparing. In the designer's studio, I bumped into Nicole head-on. She had been dressed in luxurious jewelry by Eden recently. At first glance, she really looked like the daughter of a wealthy family. She was having a video call with Eden. When she saw me, she giggled. "Brother Eden, I just went to see Uncle Hua. He said that Madeline came to choose the engagement dress, and here we met." Eden also saw me, and his smile immediately faded. "Madeline, don't waste your efforts, even if you dress up beautifully. In my eyes, you're not even as good as a single hair of Nicole's." Nicole pretended to be annoyed. "Stop talking. Don't make Madeline lose face." She spread her hands and twirled in front of me. "Madeline, do you think this dress of mine is pretty? Brother Eden gave it to me. It's a bit small, so he asked me to come and have the size adjusted." I didn't want to pay attention to her at first, but when I saw her dress clearly, I was shocked. "Why do you have this dress?" I looked at Eden on the screen. "Did you give it to her?" This was clearly designed for me by my late grandmother with her own hands. As an internationally renowned fashion designer, this was her last masterpiece. In my previous life, I had pointed at it and happily told Eden that I would wear it to marry him. I had always kept it in the villa of the Jonas family in the suburbs of Beijing. I didn't know when Eden took it and gave it to Nicole. "Take it off now," I said coldly. Nicole looked almost on the verge of tears. "Brother Eden bought this especially for me. What's wrong with you?" "Madeline." Eden was furious. "Look at the occasion before you bully someone. You're acting like a shrew. You have no right to stand by my side." I shouted back. "Eden, explain clearly. Where did you get this dress from?" "I bought it." He also raised his voice. "Madeline, if you keep being unreasonable, I promise you'll regret it. Don't quarrel because of me." "Oh no." She accidentally stepped on the hem of the dress in her panic, and I watched helplessly as this unique dress in the world was torn to pieces. I was shocked and slapped her in the face. Nicole cried and grabbed me. "Madeline, even if you're jealous of me, you should consider Brother Eden." Eden's anger almost burst out of the screen. "Madeline, apologize to Nicole immediately." "What are you doing?" Suddenly, I crashed into an embrace that smelled of grass and trees, and a deep and cold male voice sounded above my head. "Isaac." Nicole didn't know him at all and her face twisted. "Who the hell are you? Do you know who I am?" "I don't know you, but I know that this is Mr. Jonas's beloved daughter." Isaac lifted his eyelids slightly. His eyes filled with shards of ice. "Do you want to beat up the only daughter of the Jonas family in public?" As soon as the words, "the only daughter of the Jonas family," came out, Nicole visibly trembled. Eden also fell silent. It was Nicole's dress that was torn, but Isaac took off his coat and put it on me. He lowered his eyes, but only looked at the tips of my shoes, and his voice took on a trace of tenderness that was hard to detect. "Miss, I'll take you home." On the day of my 20th birthday party, when Eden entered, his face still looked unpleasant. Mr. Jonas said that he would ask the four of us to go to his study later to announce the result in a small range first. He approached me. "Madeline, if you apologize to Nicole now, I can still consider forgiving you." He made such a big movement that he almost stepped on my dress. Someone pulled me in time, and we took a step back. I turned around and saw Isaac lowering his eyes and asking, "Are you okay?" When Eden saw it was him, he sneered disdainfully. "People from a small family are always eager to please. Don't think that just because you're here, you're qualified to have an arranged marriage with the Jonas family. You're just filling in the numbers." "Let me ask you one last time. Will you apologize to Nicole?" I turned my head away, too lazy to pay attention to him. Isaac's eyes narrowed slightly, and he looked at us in silence. "Madeline, don't cry and beg me for forgiveness later." Eden finally left with a furious look on his face. Half an hour before the party started, the eldest legitimate sons of the four major families in City B gathered in my father's study. They didn't know that I was in the next room, watching everything in the study on the monitor. With my father's approval, the lawyer solemnly read out the document. After formal notarization, Isaac is hereby selected as the marriage partner for the 7th generation only daughter of the Jonas family and the next president of the group, who will take over the Jonas family's property comprehensively. Isaac suddenly raised his head. his eyes full of surprise. Bang! Something shattered, making a deafening noise. "It's impossible," Eden exclaimed in a voice. My father frowned. "Does Mr. Eden have any dissatisfaction with the decision of the Jonas family?" With his overwhelming authority, Eden lowered his head but still mumbled. "How could this be? How could Madeline not choose me? Why on earth should she choose you?" My father's voice had lost all warmth. "You've trampled on her self-esteem several times. Do you really think I don't know just because I wasn't present? I didn't take action just because I considered Madeline's feelings for you. Don't be too confident, Mr. Eden." Eden kept muttering. "It's impossible." Neurotically, my father waved his hand and had him dragged out of the room. After everyone left, my father called me over. "Madeline, have you really thought this through? Once it's announced in public later, there will be no turning back." I nodded firmly. "Yes, I've already made up my mind." Well, the young man from the Hayden family is indeed a promising candidate. In recent years, their core business has also been shifting to City B. My father stroked my head affectionately. "If it weren't for the will left by your great-grandfather and my poor health, I really wouldn't want you to sacrifice your happiness for the Jonas family." I smiled and shook my head. "Dad, don't worry, I'll be happy." At the birthday party, in the presence of a notary, my father publicly announced this decision. "After the wedding, I will officially step back and Mr. Isaac will take over the business of the Jonas family." Everyone couldn't hide their surprise. They searched the whole venue for Eden, who should have been the male protagonist. But he was nowhere to be found. Wearing a crown and a diamond dress, I slowly walked down the stairs. There was thunderous applause. Isaac walked to the center of the banquet hall and looked up at me with his eyes full of starlight. The Hayden family, which had been looked down upon for years, finally came to the center of the celebrity circle in City B in this life. Looking at Isaac's broad shoulders and narrow waist perfectly outlined by the high-end tailored suit, I secretly swallowed. My gaze moved up and accidentally met his eyes. In my previous life, after I had a fatal car accident, my soul hovered in the air due to my strong obsession. Then I saw the first person to arrive at the scene, Isaac. He seemed to be in a hurry and even rolled out of the car. After digging with the rescue team for 9 hours, he finally saw my badly damaged body. Despite the freezing rain, he silently took off his clothes and covered my body with them. When the people from the Jonas family came to collect the body, he just stood in the darkness with his eyes lowered, not knowing what he was thinking. After I was buried, he deliberately ingratiated himself with Eden. Then, taking advantage of a time when he was sending the drunk Eden home, he led him over the railing of the Cross-Sea Bridge. To my great surprise, I saw Isaac smilingly pin a dried lily of the valley to his chest. The next second, he resolutely rushed towards the bridge railing. "If I had known it would be like this, I should have taken you away regardless of everything." This was the last sentence Isaac said before he died. Remembering the shock at that moment, I looked at the man in front of me and was for a moment. "What are you thinking about?" His pleasant voice reached my ears, and my earlobes felt a little warmer. Just as I was about to answer, an unpleasant voice shattered the beauty. "Madeline, do you have some difficulties? How could you choose the Hayden family instead of me?" Eden burst in. When he saw the hands of Isaac and me tightly clasped, his eyes instantly turned scarlet. "Clearly you kept saying you loved me. Clearly in your previous life. Where are the people from the Dennis family?" My father interrupted him sternly. "What kind of place is this? Do you not take the Jonas family seriously?" Eden's parents almost gritted their teeth and apologized repeatedly, but they still asked unwillingly. "Miss Madeline has always had feelings for our Eden. I don't know why she suddenly changed her mind. Unless you show the video evidence, I will never believe it." Eden gritted his teeth and said. My father stopped talking and raised his hand to call in the bodyguards. But I stopped him. "Since the Dennis family has this request, let's give them some face." The video was played in public. Eden stared fixedly at the screen. When he saw that as soon as my father finished speaking, I didn't hesitate to say, "Isaac." His pupils shook violently. Isaac beside me was also startled, and then he held my hand even tighter. "Madeline, I advise you to stop." I looked at Eden in surprise. A few strands of his hair were messy, and he wildly tried to pull me. "Even if you want to make me jealous, there should be a limit. There's no need to be so impulsive about the arranged marriage. If you keep talking, there will really be no room for maneuver." Isaac hid me behind him, his face full of coldness. "Mr. Eden, you've gone too far. Please don't get close to my fiancé." Eden roared. "Get out of the way. Who the hell are you?" He is my future husband, the future head of the Jonas family and the Pei family. From beginning to end, I chose him. I pushed Isaac aside and looked at Eden with a proud smile. Eden, from now on, I, Madeline, and the Jonas family have nothing to do with you anymore. He was stunned, as if he didn't understand what I said. My father said that if he caused trouble again, all cooperation with the Dennis family would be terminated. He was dragged away in a sorry state by the bodyguards. His lips trembled slightly, but he couldn't say another word. The engagement banquet was being prepared in full swing. I was full of enthusiasm and wanted to drag Isaac to see the ordered dress. But he pressed me in the car. Madeline, let's have a talk. Isaac looked at me a little nervously. Why did you choose you? He nodded. What do you think is the reason? Isaac pursed his lips, showing none of the imposing manner when he stood in front of me against Eden that day. If you're marrying me just to make him jealous and you have no other choice, I don't want you to yourself. I crossed my arms and looked at him. Where did you get that idea? His eyes flashed behind his thick eyelashes, and he showed me a photo. I also went to that uncle's birthday party. I arrived a bit late and only saw you talking to him. You looked very down when you left. Isaac lowered his eyes. Actually, before the announcement, I also thought you would definitely choose him. I never, and didn't even dare to think that it would be me. After all, the Hayden family is indeed the weakest among the 4 major families. I don't deserve you. I enlarged the photo and remembered. That day, when I left, I accidentally saw the lilies of the valley used for decoration. Thinking of the wedding in my previous life and the scene of Isaac's tragic death, I felt sad. It had nothing to do with Eden at all. I rolled my eyes, and suddenly cupped his face, giving a peck on his slightly cool and thin lips, smiling at his stunned look. Don't make assumptions based on the picture. I want to marry you. If I say you're worthy, you are. Isaac, I ask you that in this life. You are not allowed to mention those irrelevant people again. There were little stars in Isaac's eyes. They gathered into a brilliant galaxy. He let out a low laugh and somehow took out a lily of the valley diamond necklace, devoutly taking my hand and kissing it. Yes, Ms. Hayden. For more than a month after the birthday party, I was immersed in my relationship with Isaac. In my previous life, when I was an admirer of Eden, I was grateful for the little warmth he showed me. In this life, being with Isaac, I finally knew what true love was. His eyes were always on me, and only on me, not even giving a glance to others. Whenever I needed something, he would notice it immediately. We often stayed up late talking on the phone until midnight, which made me oversleep every morning. That day, I woke up late and was having brunch when the butler said, Miss Song is outside and said she came to visit the young master. I sneered. When I went to the door, there was Nicole. She was arguing with the security guard at the door, her face red. How dare you stop me? Mr. Jonas treats me like his own daughter. I lazily walked out. Who are you? Even if my dad has a bad memory, he won't confuse his daughter with a sponsored student. Right. Hearing the word, sponsored student, Nicole's face changed several times, and she barely managed a smile. Madeline, is Mr. Jonas in? I want to talk to him and ask if he can let me go back to the Jonas family. I snorted. Didn't you resign yourself and want to be Eden's assistant? Upon hearing this, Nicole's face turned pale. I secretly raised my eyebrows. This was the so-called true love that Eden had affirmed in my previous life. It had only been a month, and it was already over. Do you think the Jonas family is your toilet? That you can come and go as you please? Show her out. But then I heard 2 beeps. Nicole and I turned around at the same time. I saw several Bentleys driving in a row, loaded with all kinds of things. The butler of the Hayden family got out of the car and bowed to me. Miss Madeline, our young master asked me to bring the betrothal gifts. I nodded. Where's Isaac? The young master went to check the engagement banquet venue in person. The sweetness on my face couldn't be hidden. But Nicole wrung her hands, her face turning pale with anger. I didn't want to pay attention to her anymore. Just as I was about to go back, another fleet of luxury cars drove over. After the leading car stopped, in the surprised eyes of Nicole and me, Eden got out of the car with a bouquet of flowers. Brother Eden, Nicole exclaimed in surprise. I knew you wouldn't ignore me, she said shyly and reproachfully. Why did you come all the way here to find me? It's so embarrassing if Madeline sees this. But Eden passed her by and knelt down in front of me, offering the bouquet. Madeline, I'm here to give you the betrothal gifts. Nicole's smile froze on her face. I just thought it was ridiculous. Eden, are you crazy? Madeline, Isn't it enough that I've reflected on it for more than a month? Eden's hand holding the flowers trembled slightly. I really know I was wrong. Won't you even give me a chance to correct my mistakes? Why should I forgive you just because you know you were wrong? Get out of here with your things. Nicole came over and tearfully tugged at the corner of his clothes. Brother Eden, how could you? Didn't you say I was your true love? Are you stupid? Eden impatiently waved her away. How could I marry a woman without a good family background? No matter how I play around, the only person I will marry is Madeline. Nicole stepped back in disbelief, her face as pale as paper. Where do you get the nerve? Eden, I looked at him in disgust. You can play with women as you like and choose to marry whoever you want. Do you really think you're a crown prince? I didn't want to say another word and turned to leave. I was really blind and foolish in my previous life to have fallen for such a person. He suddenly rushed towards me, but was stopped by the security guards who were prepared. Madeline, please don't go. I have something else to give you. Eden had someone open a box. I fixed your dress. Please take a look at it. I glanced at it indifferently. The torn parts were all mended with gold thread, but in this way, the originally elegant design was completely destroyed and became extremely vulgar. I've said it. I don't want it anymore. No matter how much I liked something. Once it's broken, it's broken. I looked at him coldly. Eden, I don't love you anymore. I'm Isaac's fiancé. Please respect yourself in the future. I left neatly without looking back. Isaac sent so many betrothal gifts that the butler and I spent a whole day counting them. The next day, the butler told me that the two of them had a big fight again yesterday. Eden even hit Nicole, and they were only persuaded to leave when the police came. In the middle of the night, Eden came back again and sat at the door all night. Miss, don't worry. Mr. Jonas and Mr. Isaac have both sent people to keep an eye on him. Mr. Jonas also said that he will terminate the cooperation with the Dennis family. I perfunctorily said, I see, and then turned to act coquettishly to Isaac on the screen. You sent so many betrothal gifts that my hand is cramping from counting them. I'm on my way to your place. How about giving you a massage for a whole day? His eyes curved into a crescent moon. My heart skipped a beat, and my fingertips unconsciously traced his face. Isaac. Come quickly. I miss you. Maybe he was too frustrated that day, and Eden didn't show up again for a long time. We successfully held the engagement banquet, and our relationship got better day by day. Half a year later, Isaac and I held a wedding. The scale of this wedding was even greater than that in my previous life. The difference was that in my previous life, I designed everything day and night, while this time, Isaac planned it all by himself, except for my wedding dress. He didn't want me to worry about anything else. I want to give you a surprise. Ms. Hayden, I want everyone to know that I've married the woman I love the most. On the wedding day, the whole city was in an uproar, and the streets were empty. Isaac's wedding procession passed through the entire city B and then lined up neatly in front of my house. Looking at the swaying lilies of the valley in the cars, I was surprised by the telepathy between him and me. When I turned around, I met Isaac's eyes as bright as stars. Just like that day in the car, he knelt down devoutly and kissed the back of my hand. I've come to marry you, Ms. Hayden. For the wedding, the Hayden family built a manor in the suburbs of Beijing in full swing. That would also be the place where Isaac and I would live in the future. On the way to the manor, he always held my hand tightly with his. There was a gentle smile on his lips all the time. But unexpectedly, something went wrong on the way. The motorcade suddenly stopped in an emergency, and there was a commotion from the front. Don't be afraid. I'll handle it. Isaac patted my hand. When he got out of the car, his face had turned cold and serious. I was trapped by the huge skirt of my wedding dress and could only anxiously stick my head out of the window. But I couldn't see anything. Bang! I was startled by the loud noise that sounded like a body hitting the car door. Isaac's smile before his death in my previous life unexpectedly flashed into my mind, and my heart began to pound nervously. Isaac. He couldn't have an accident again. I rushed out regardless. Isaac. But I saw Eden curled up in pain on the hood of the car, a trace of blood oozing from the corner of his mouth. When Isaac saw me, he quickly put down his raised fist. Madeline, why are you here? I rushed over in a hurry and checked him up and down. Are you okay? Are you injured? His fierce expression quickly faded, and he said softly, Don't worry, I'm fine. Madeline, I'm in this state, and you don't even ask if I'm okay. Eden stood up awkwardly, pain flashing in his eyes. In the past, you used to be so when I got even the slightest injury. I ignored him as if I didn't hear him. Is the matter dealt with? If so, let's go quickly. There's an auspicious time for the wedding. Madeline, do you really have the heart to leave me like this? I just made a mistake once. Do you want to punish me for the rest of my life? I was just flirting with Nicole. You're the only one I love. Eden, how dare you say that? Nicole rushed out from somewhere, with bruises on her face. I've finally caught you. You actually had the bodyguards beat me up and even knocked me out and dragged me to the hospital to have an abortion. How could you be so heartless? That was also your child. She collapsed on the ground exhausted, and suddenly let out a wail. Then she covered her stomach in pain, and blood slowly seeped out. Mrs. Gu also arrived and looked down at her disdainfully. I've already given you a chance. I gave you money and even sent you abroad. It's you who were so shameless and insisted on getting the title of Mrs. Gu. You've caused so much trouble for Eden and the Dennis family. We've already done our best. It seemed that in my previous life, Mrs. Gu was the one who made Nicole disappear. But no matter how Mrs. Gu and Nicole made a scene, Eden seemed oblivious. He kept staring at me and shouted loudly, Madeline, I was wrong. Please give me another chance. Okay. The shrill sound of police sirens interrupted him. Go and talk to the police. We're in a hurry to get married. Isaac looked at him like he was trash. You're the eldest legitimate son of the Dennis family. Don't you even know how to maintain some dignity? Eden was pushed into the police car, and his eyes were still unwillingly fixed on me, until Isaac and I held hands and walked farther and farther away. Fortunately, Isaac had made preparations in advance, and the police arrived in time, so our wedding wasn't delayed. Amidst the attention of the crowd, where the lilies of the valley swayed, Isaac and I solemnly made a lifetime promise to each other. When it was finally just the two of us, I told Isaac a story about past life and present life. After listening, he didn't say anything. His eyes suddenly darkened, and then he leaned in again. Afterward, I was limp in his arms and vaguely asked the question that had puzzled me for 2 lifetimes. Have we met before? When did you fall in love with me? Isaac planted a kiss on my forehead. The first time we met was at your coming-of-age ceremony. All the powerful people in City B were there. Although the Hayden family is one of the 4 major families, compared with the other 3, our family was much quieter. I sat in the corner and no one paid attention to me. Even if someone talked to me, it was full of sarcasm. Until he looked at me tenderly. You noticed me, picked a lily of the valley and gave it to me, and said that everyone who came to bless you should be happy. So that day, no one dared to be rude to me anymore. To me, you were like the light that melted the ice and snow. I dried and treasured that lily of the valley. I thought that was the only thing I could keep in this life. I was speechless and hugged him tightly with a pang of heartache. Are you silly? Isaac smiled and held my hand. Later, I saw you twice more, both at banquets. I wanted to thank you, but at that time, you had that person in your heart and eyes. I've been working hard all these years, hoping that one day you would notice me. Madeline, I never dared to dream that you would choose me. I held back the sourness in my eyes and kissed him. At this moment, any words were superfluous. One day after we got married, I was feeding the koi fish at home. The butler told me the latest gossip as a joke. The Dennis family not only revoked Eden's right of inheritance but also announced that they would sever all relations with him, just to seek the forgiveness of the Jonas family. I laughed when I heard it. Why did he have to wait until now? Having manipulated me with my love for so long, Eden probably just remembered now that I'm the only daughter of the Jonas family. As for Nicole, my father stopped all forms of assistance to her. With the power of the Jonas family, it was enough to make sure that no company in City B would dare to hire her. But my father said not to push a desperate foe too hard, so he didn't go to extremes. However, it's difficult to go from a life of luxury to a simple one. Having enjoyed the extravagance of high society, how could Nicole be willing to go back to a hard life? Desperate, she actually became an escort. With great effort, she managed to get involved with a wealthy businessman, and then went to Southeast Asia. After that, there was no news of her. I didn't even blink when I heard this, thinking of my ending in my previous life. Their fates were still too easy. 4 months later, my father announced his retirement. Isaac held a press conference in the headquarters building of the Jonas family and officially took over the 2 groups. I looked at Isaac on the stage, who already had the bearing of a leader, and smiled gracefully. But then I heard someone beside me exclaim in surprise. Someone on the rooftop is going to jump off the building. It's the former crown prince of the Dennis family. He seems to be live streaming too. The scene was in chaos. I frowned and opened my phone. and saw a face that was emaciated and crazy. It was Eden. "Tell Madeline to come and see me," he roared at the camera. "If I don't see her within 10 minutes, I'll splash blood on the headquarters of the Jonas family." My phone was suddenly taken away. Isaac gently smoothed my furrowed brows. "Don't worry, I'll deal with it. This time." I refused him. "The person who tied the bell should untie it. I'll go." When I appeared in front of him, Eden had tears all over his face and his eyes were bloodshot. "Madeline, I've lost everything because of you." He tore open his clothes to reveal a row of detonators around his waist. "Tell Isaac to step down, and you choose me for the arranged marriage. Otherwise, I'll set off the bomb here." He laughed hoarsely. "If I can't have you, Isaac doesn't deserve you either. You're just asking for it. Don't put the blame on me." I said coldly, "Did I force you to cheat? Or did I force you to insult me?" Eden's eyes were wild. "I don't care. If you don't agree, we'll die together." "Fine. Set it off. I want to see if you have the guts." Someone was anxious. "Miss Madeline, don't provoke him for now. What if?" Before the person could finish speaking, Eden let out a desperate roar and pulled the fuse. Everyone ducked down in a panic. Only I, with my arms crossed, looked at him disdainfully, as if watching a circus performance. "How could this be? How could this be?" Eden mumbled, staring blankly at the detonators that didn't react. Before he could react, the police who had been prepared rushed forward and subdued him. His face was pressed to the ground, but he still tried his best to raise his face and stared resentfully at the person behind me. "It's you." Isaac put his arm around me. "Don't you think everything in this bomb detonation plan went too smoothly? I really don't know how the Dennis family trains their heirs." He sneered disdainfully. "If we don't let you go crazy, how can we make you perish?" Realizing that the situation was hopeless, Eden changed his tune and begged. Eden didn't expect me to have this attitude and was stunned for a moment. "In the previous life, you chose me, and we were very happy. Whether it's the previous life or this life, you're the only one I love. Past life and present life." I couldn't help but want to laugh and finally gave him a glance. The former crown prince of the Dennis family had now become a mad dog. I walked closer to him. "Then tell me, how were we happy in the previous life?" His eyes lit up with enthusiasm. "We got married and managed the Jonas family together. We were going to grow old together." I couldn't hold back my laughter and laughed out loud. "Really, Eden, do you dare to look me in the eyes and say that again?" There was a chilling coldness in my eyes that pierced the heart. "Wasn't it you who found one lover after another who looked like Nicole and then got rid of me in an accident? So you also." His pupils shrank suddenly, and his whole body began to tremble. "Madeline, my wife, I was wrong, really wrong. Please believe me one more time. Okay, I will definitely treat you well in this life. Okay." Isaac covered my ears in a timely manner. "Please take him away. He's disturbing my wife." Eden was taken away screaming and handcuffed. In this life, prison became his destination. The rooftop returned to peace. The fragrance of grass and trees entered my nostrils, soothing my slightly aching head. "It's all right now." There were twinkling stars in Isaac's eyes. "Nothing will go wrong in the future." I hugged him tightly. "In the days to come, there will be sunshine, a gentle breeze, and the person I love. It's so wonderful."